We're entering week 3 of camp. We know you guys have come off a scrimmage. Just talk to us a little bit about each of your position groups and what you've focused on during camp so far.
Just running backs is more just trying to get those guys experience. It's a talented room, but very young room. So just trying to get them as much experience as we can get. Coach Chadwell does a good job of just giving us a bunch of team and scrimmage and move the ball situations in practice where those guys can get experience and kind of get game feeling type reps, which is what they all need right now. So that's what we've been kind of looking for from those guys.
We've been on the defensive side really more trying to establish depth. Who can play, we have a saying that if you're good enough, you'll play. If you're the best one, you'll start. Well, we got a lot of guys that are good enough to play, so it's been a very, very competitive group on defense. From the 1s, 2s, and 3s, it's hard to see what's what. So it's been good to see, but they're also challenging each other and pushing each other every day because it is so competitive and it is very, very small error for margin for error. It's been fun to see.
Coach Isaac, I'll ask you. You mentioned the youth and the inexperience of the running back room. From a coach's perspective, last year versus this year, maybe even your entire coaching career, what is the difference between coaching, a room like this? Is it a lot more gray hairs? Is it, nerve-wracking during camp? What's it like coaching a younger room and getting up to speed?
It is a lot more gray hair. Just all this right here that you see is from this camp right here. I didn't have any before this fall camp, but that's what it is. It's tough because they're learning as they go, so you're going to see much more mistakes than you would typically see from a bunch of guys that's returning. So you're seeing a lot of mistakes, but some of the things that's good is they're not making the same mistakes. But there's mistakes that you have to clean up, so that's where you kind of get the headaches, get the gray hairs, you get all that stuff from because they're young and they don't have experience. Even Vaughn been here 3 years, but Vaughn was hurt the first year. And he didn't play as much B-back as last year, so he don't really have experience at B-back. And then you got Juju, who just moved over, so he's played at NC State, but he didn't play running back. So even the older guys are still inexperienced too as well. So it's just trying to clean up the mistakes. They're going to make them. A lot of them putting a lot of pressure on themselves because obviously it's an open competition. So it's kind of trying to take the pressure off of them and tell them that I expect them to make mistakes and just kind of clean it up and not make the same mistakes twice.
That being said, what excites you about that room?
That they're super talented. You watch these guys compete, and you don't know. Like today, I still couldn't tell you who's going to be the 2 guys that's going to roll out there. You got the freshmen that are really, really good. They're just making a lot of mistakes, but Mal just as talented as anybody in that room, and Cole is probably faster than Juju. So you got guys that are really, really talented in the room. So that's what you're most excited for, but you just got to wait and let them grow and develop. So you just keep throwing them in the fire with all these team situations, and you kind of see the talent and stuff come out of them.
How much can you expect out of along those lines, like a Caden Williams? I mean, a guy that is young, but he's getting a lot of carries out there.
Absolutely. We're expecting a lot out of him. Again, we don't know who that B-back is going to be. So some days is he going with the ones, some days Vaughn going with the ones. We today still couldn't tell you who's going to be the B-back for us. We put a lot on. I put a lot on. I'm holding him to the fire every single day. We probably gonna have to count on him to be the guy, or maybe it's Vaughn. But so we put a lot on him to kind of see what they can do right now.
Where do you turn for the size, physicality when the game's late, the defense has been on the field for a while, and you're looking for a back or two that can just physically wear down an opposing defense?
If you had to pick one today, it's probably Caden's the more physical one. He's the bigger one. That's what we brought him in for as a freshman versus Vaughn. We brought him in to be that combo A-back that's on the perimeter, but it can do some stuff in the tackles. But Caden was brought here to be the physical in between the tackles that can wear teams down and can pick up the blitzes and the A-gap and things of that nature. So Caden's probably that guy right now. But if Vaughn hits it and gets through there, it's probably going to the house. So I don't know right now. So it's kind of all over the place. So it's good. It's fun. Just kind of see these guys compete with each other.
Having a guy like Juju, you just, with that skill set, just try to get him the ball in space to make plays and just let him figure it out from there. Is that kind of your goal this camp right now?
Yeah, there's many different ways we can use Juju is what we're trying to do. The beauty of Juju, he's very, very smart, very intelligent. He came from the receiver room. Obviously, he still remembers the entire playbook from a receiver standpoint, so we can be personnel and Juju, hey, go play receiver this play, and Vaughn, you in the running back. And he knows it just like that, and then we can throw him in the backfield, and he's becoming better in between the tackles, running in between tackles. I mean, he does so much for you. It's just being creative and finding different ways to hide them and move them all over the place and give those guys problems.
Coach Magee, is this a reach, or does it help when there's a quarterback battle like there is going on for your defense to see a bunch of different style quarterbacks, or are they pretty much the same in terms of style?
They're a little different. When Berger takes off, he has a different gear than some of the other ones. Vasco as well. So it is you do see some different phases. Not really a reach. So you do, like, we call things differently. Depends on which quarterback we're facing. So that does matter.
Maybe some new names and faces might step up in your room this year. Who are some guys that, maybe taking a step for you, during the summer or in training camp so far?
Mike Jarvis has had a really, really good camp. He's took steps to be a leader. He's taken steps to make his body better for the season. Nate Paroli is a guy who's a walk-on, and I mean, he's had the best camp of everybody. Then you got freshmen that are going to play. That Cam Cullins is 6'2", 295. I mean, as a freshman, and he's physically able to play and strong enough to hold up. Sam Cohen's another freshman that's been turning heads. Marcus Clark transferred in from App State. He's got starting experience in the Sun Belt. So he's played at decent levels. Davin Jackson's played at NC State. I mean, there's a lot of new guys, a lot of new faces. Aaron Hester from Florida State. There's a lot of guys that's going to contribute this year that we hadn't seen, here on the mountain.
You mentioned depth. I mean, last year with the sack totals in the last couple of years, kind of overall being a little bit down. Do you think the depth? You mentioned you can go 1, 2, 3 deep maybe. Does that take the pressure off of some of your top end guys from having to get after the quarterback? I mean, maybe they can have a little bit of a better burst in shorter spurts. I'm guessing from
it does, because at defensive end you'll probably see 3 different people playing, maybe 4, depending on what happened with the freshmen. And you'll have certain interior guys in on pass rush downs, where in the past you just left those same guys in there. Now you're throwing in fresh bodies on 3rd and 7. So it's going to take a lot off of people. You won't see defensive linemen playing 60 plays anymore. You'll see them playing 25 max, and they're maxed reps. So that's going to be good for fourth quarters.
Speaking on Cullen just a little bit, I remember you talking about him in spring. Where has he improved in just the few months he's been here on campus now that you think he can be able to play in week 1?
Man, he's probably one of the top 10 strongest guys on the team. Mentally, he's learned everything. I think the spring was great for him because he took a lot of reps with the ones in the spring because we had a bunch of guys with injuries. Like Bryce Dixon's back now. Today's his first day to be back. So he took a lot of Bryce's reps from the spring, and he's been taking them all camp. And so the mental side of it, he's improved as well as the physical.
Newland, even though these guys are inexperienced in your room, are they where you would want them to be at this point in fall camp?
Yeah. I would say so. The one thing that we're still trying to improve on is pass protection. As far as just running the ball, there are. But pass pro is we're still trying to pick that up. Those guys, Caden, coming from high school, never had to pass pro before. They just hand the ball off to him, and Vaughn was the same way. And now those guys are the B-backs that has to do it. They have to do what Cooley been doing for the last 2 years for us. So that's where it's trying to getting those guys caught up to speed on actually being on the field on 3rd down and being able to pick up these blitzes and being able to see where it's coming from, because you get these guys that give us everything under the sun right now as far as looks. So being able to see what's going on and pick it up and be on the same page with the O-line and the quarterbacks, that's the part that's probably the most challenging right now is the pass pro stuff.
That's not something you can put on Coach Durkin and his guys.
No,
right?
that's on me.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
One more with the coaches.
Talking about Cooley the last couple of years, 1,200 last year, 1,400 the year before. Given how many guys are in the room and inexperienced, is there a 1,000-yard rusher on this team this year? Or is it gonna be about
It's gonna be one. I don't know which one it's gonna be, but I'm if I was a betting man, which I'm not because I work here, so I'm not a betting man. But if I was a betting man, I would say it's gonna definitely be one 1,000-yard rusher this year. Absolutely.